Hi guys, we're going to move on to chapter 2 today. What I'm doing from here on until the end of the school year is that your note sheet and your practice sheet will be on the exact same paper. So you're going to be submitting it all after you're done watching the notes and after you're done doing the practice that goes along with those notes. So today's topic is the topic of opposites. So opposites are any two numbers or variables. Remember, variables are letters like X, Y, Z that are the same distance from the origin. When I refer to the origin, I'm referring to 0 when we're talking about the number line. So I'm going to give you an example. So if this is a number line and here is 0 on the number line, if we want to find the opposite of positive 3, we're going to go in the other direction from 0. So currently 3 is 1, 2, 3 jumps away from 0 on the number line. So to find the opposite of positive 3, we're going to go 3 jumps to the left of 0. So 1, 2, 3. So this would be -1, -2, and obviously the opposite of positive 3 is -3. Just like that, the opposite of a negative number, such as -1, 5,000, 51,256, is the opposite of positive 51,256. And a number doesn't have to have a positive sign in front of it in order for it to be considered positive. Okay, so moving on to A. To take the opposite of a number, you're just going to be taking the opposite, or you're going to be putting a negative in front of whatever that number is. When you have variables, instead of saying the word negative, you're going to read the negative sign as the word opposite. So for example, what you would probably think of as being -x is actually read as the opposite of x. The reason being is that x could already be negative. So for example, if x equals -6 and I put a -6 in place of that, you would actually have an extra negative to go in front of that -6, which actually is referring to, remember, 2 negatives is a positive. It's actually referring to +6. That's a little deeper than what we're going to go for today. Just wanted to give you that. That's a really important piece of information for the next math class. So let's go on to the examples. And today's work is really easy. So first one, what is the opposite of 2? And this is referring to a positive 2, even though there isn't a positive sign in front of the 2. So the opposite of positive 2 is -2. Second one, what is the opposite of -10? So if we're thinking about -10 on a number line, positive 10 would be the opposite, or you could just write it with a 10 without a positive symbol. What's the opposite of -7? Again, that would be either +7, or you can just write 7 without any symbol at all. What's the opposite of 23? That would be -23. And last one, what is the opposite of -65? And again, opposite of negative is a positive, or you could write that number without any symbol at all. So those are the example for the notes today. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing these 10 practice problems. And just like the whole number examples that we did, the decimals and the fraction will be the exact same thing. So I'll give you 2 examples. Number 5, what's the opposite of -1/4? Okay, so opposite of a negative is positive, and positive 1/4, or you could just write the fraction 1/4. But you don't need both of those answers to be correct. Let's also do number 9, -13.2. What's the opposite of -13.2? That's going to be positive 13.2, or you can just write 13.2 without a positive symbol. So the numbers aren't changing, just the sign, which is referring to how far that number is away from 0 on the number line. Okay, this means that you have 8 problems to do on your own. Once you're done with those, you can either type them into this Word document, or you can print it out, write it on notebook paper, whatever is easiest for you to submit it to me. If you have any questions, get in touch with me.